My girlfriend, 32F, is so high maintenance. I, 31M, am exhausted all the time. How do I free myself from her? I've known my girlfriend for over a decade now. We've been dating for about 4 of the years I've known her. I felt like I knew her, but I was wrong. Originally, as friends, she was perfectly fine. We hung out, spent time with her and my friends, communicated well, did hiking and camping trips together. It was great. And when we were dating, it was still great. So I asked if she wanted to move in with me and be my girlfriend. And she loved that. But a few months after I moved in with her, she became cold and uncaring. I thought that maybe she needed to go out a bit. She didn't have many friends after they moved recently at the time, so I thought it would be cool if she hung around me and my friends again for a bit. She used to be fine with them, but after I introduced her as my girlfriend, she was always pissy and glared at them. These were a healthy mix of guy and girl friends, and she was rude to each of them. She pretty much refused to talk to them suddenly. It was really weird, and I apologized to them afterward, thinking she was just upset that her friends moved. So I stopped taking her to hang out with them. Then she made me feel bad whenever I hung out with them by myself, like I was abandoning her. It really hurt me because I wanted to include her in my social life. But I couldn't help that she was making it weird, so since she was my girlfriend, I decided to prioritize her comfort over seeing them at that time. She never got better. Eventually, she stopped helping me with chores and just played video games all day. But she was at least still working and paying half the rent. I thought that it would be temporary, but it ended up being permanent. Things got worse. Unlike before, when we were friends, she had loved hearing me play guitar. But somehow now, she felt like I was practicing too much and wasn't spending enough time with her. But we would still go hiking and camping together, sleep together exclusively, watch TV together most nights, and play with the dogs together every day. I kept imagining myself years from now and said I can't live like this, so we broke up. We lived together awkwardly for the remainder of our rental agreement and then parted ways. Fast forward a year later, she had a falling out with her family. She needed a place to stay, and I happened to be desperate to find a new place to rent because the landlord wanted to sell the condo I was renting. He had given me notice to move out. None of my friends were in a situation where they could move in with me. I couldn't afford to live alone due to high prices and low savings and was on the brink of being homeless. I recalled that she at least paid rent, so I laid out strict rules about how we're only roommates and that she needs to split the chores with me. For a year, things were really healthy between us. We communicated, I had my boundaries, she had hers, and we were having a great time. Then I made the dumb decision of thinking we had worked things out, thinking that I had known her for so many years now, and she was fine for the majority of the years I knew her, and that things were fine again. At this point, my friends and I got distant over everyone moving, starting families, and going their separate ways. I started feeling lonely, and she and I got closer. So in hindsight, dumb me asked her to go out with me again. But after another year of normalcy, it's back to the way things were. I'm doing all the chores again, and worse is that she is taking fewer hours at work, so I'm paying more of the rent, all the groceries, and all the pet expenses. We've been living together for about 3 years now. I never have time to do anything I love to do anymore. I asked why she is taking fewer hours at work, and she just keeps saying because it is hard. When I ask her why she can't find another job, she says she's too exhausted to find something else, which I understand. It's a loop of work exhaustion. So I offered to help her with her resume, but then I ended up being the only one job hunting for her. I'm asking what jobs she wants, applying for them, and then she doesn't call back or answer the phone for interviews because she says she is tired and she doesn't like talking on the phone. Well, time passes, and she ends up getting injured at the job she hates and messed up her wrists. She can't take her dog out. She and I technically have our own dogs, so now I'm taking care of both dogs. I do love them very much. I'm taking them outside, playing with them, and taking them to the vet. She can't afford pet insurance for her dog, so I added her dog to mine. I've taken and paid for her dog to go to the vet about 3 times already, twice for a tooth removal, and once for when her dog hurt her tail by wagging it too hard. I haven't had money to do anything other than pay the bills for years. I can't even buy myself replacement socks anymore. But I at least have a roof over our heads. She's gotten increasingly angry at everything I do. I didn't put the plates away right, I didn't dust her desk right, and I didn't vacuum right. She doesn't yell at me. She yells about me in the other room so loudly that I can hear. Then she gets mad that I can only afford to live in small places. I asked her why she is doing that, and she says she is trying to yell to get her frustrations off her chest, and that she isn't trying to let me hear it. Eventually, she became increasingly angry about her work and how it's so hard for her. She often came home screaming about work and the people there. I got so fed up with her screaming that I told her to quit her job and get on disability if it hurts so much. And she did quit her job. So, in a desperate scramble, I am coming up with the paperwork and handling the scheduling of her doctor appointments to prove she is qualified so she can have an income. But she is being really resistant when I tell her she's the one who has to call and schedule it, or else we don't have a case. I don't think I can legally schedule a doctor's visit for someone else. I managed to buy a small condo despite all this, learning how to program online using YouTube and landing some freelance jobs for apps. She still lives with me. It's only been a few weeks since she has tried to get on disability. I'm tired all the time. I don't play music anymore. I work 42 hours a week at my normal day job, and then I come home, do chores, work on freelancing to help with bills for 2 to 4 more hours, take care of the dogs, hang out with her so she doesn't feel lonely, and then go to bed with her beside me. I often cry myself to sleep at night, but I hide it well because I'm not comfortable with her comforting me after all she has put me through. How am I supposed to break up with her? She has had no income for a while now, and I feel like I'll be stuck living with her forever. Whenever I feel like things are getting better, she explodes about something dumb, and I'm so done with everything but at a complete loss on how to get out. I feel like if I kick her and her dog out, she's going to end up homeless, and it will all be my fault. She doesn't have any family or friends who can take care of her. Even if they did, they are states away. The one thing I can say is that her name isn't on the mortgage. I still can't believe I've made it this far, but I feel like I'm drowning. I should be sleeping right now for work tomorrow, but I needed to vent and ask for guidance. I'm just so tired. How do I free myself from a toxic girlfriend who owns my entire existence, has all her stuff at my place, but has no income of her own and no family or friends to support her, to keep her from going homeless? Reply: yep, this. Do it all by the book so she can't do anything about it. She's a grown adult, she can look after herself. Not your responsibility. Edit: after reading again, I'd call her family and advise them that they have however long the notice is to assist her in moving out. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed today's story, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more incredible Reddit tales. Share your thoughts or your own experiences in the comments below. I love hearing from you all. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring those amazing stories.